I challenge and I repeat, the southern people of Southern Sudan, whether those in power or those not in power, just all southern people, say, I am a nationalist, I am a nationalist. No, that is a wrong understanding. Nationalism does not live with corruption. Nationalism does not live with corruption. If you call yourself a nationalist and you take public things, then you are not a nationalist. You are not. When you are robbing society, when you are robbing your own people, when you are robbing your own children, you are not a nationalist. A nationalist can even give. Why do I say like that? The word nationalism,
Yes.
like those who took to the bush to take up arms, they had given their lives for the sake of the country. Now it will be meaningless, ridiculous. It will be rubbish for such a person to be corrupt.
Someone that gave life.
Somebody that suffered in the bush to be corrupt, because he took to the bush for the interest of the country, the interest of this land, to change it, take it ahead, so that other generations will come and
get a country they call home.
Yes.
Hello, dear viewer. A very special greeting to you. This is Elders in Focus on Lake State Media. I'm Thomas Macro, and today our special guest is our elder, our father, our liberator, our leader, a corruption-free man, Ustaz Gabriel Kuc Abyei. How are you doing, Ustaz?
I'm okay.
Welcome to Lake State Media.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's a big honor to have you today. Our topic of discussion is basically on the communal contribution, the community of Agar. What was their contribution during liberation struggle? And our guest today is Ustaz Gabriel Kuc Abyei. Ustaz, greet the viewers.
Well, if we talk of community contribution, that is the Agar community around Rumbek Secondary School.
Yes.
The community contribution is associated with the reasons for which Rumbek Secondary School was opened in 1948. First, the idea of a secondary school. There were no secondary schools in South Sudan before that time during the Second World War. And so the Second World War was ended practically in 1945. Practically. Then the system of education in Khartoum, that was the British system, with Under Secretary in the Ministry of Education in Khartoum, thought that now South Sudan has stood with us during the Second World War.
Yes.
How do we reward this part of the country, South Sudan? In respect to that idea, it was seen that South Sudan did not have much education, had not taken a step to education. Then it was organized that it is good to give them an academic secondary school as a contribution to them, because they have supported the war, the British, of course, when German was coming here, Hitler especially, and then they stood, the British, and remained in the war until they defeated the German government or German army.
Yes.
And then people thought now how to reward those people who stood with the British government
During the wartime.
So it was pinpointed to be an academic secondary school as a reward for the people of Southern Sudan. So certain ideals were attached to that. One, it was that how would this secondary school be given to a particular place? How would it be given to a particular place where it can be open? And so they said it has to be competed for by administrators, British administrators in different districts of the Sudan of the South. So the administrator in Rumbek here, in inspector of local government, wrote an essay which was given to all inspectors of local government everywhere in Southern Sudan to write the best place, to describe the best place where a secondary school could be opened or situated.
Yes.
So the administrator in Rumbek here wrote an essay that Rumbek should be the best place where to open a secondary school for the whole South.
What were the reason?
Yes. First, according to him, he said the Agar society are very cooperative people. And so, and they like others. They like others. And therefore, the school can be open here to take that culture for laying the foundation of the culture of Southern Sudan.
A culture that like others.
Yes. So, the essay was ranked to be number one in
whole Southern Sudan by then.
That's Sudan. And therefore, and then another reason he said Agar people, they have animals that are rich with animal proteins.
The proteins,
Yeah, then they have animals like cows and what, which could be used for feeding the school with the milk and meat. It could be used for feeding the school. Number 3, they said Agar people are open. They are open people. They don't talk at the back of somebody. If they don't like anything, they tell you directly. So this is the best place where to build the culture of the South and the unity of the South, Rumbek. And then the fourth was that Rumbek is a central place for the whole Southern Sudan. It is the central area for the whole Sudan. It is the center of the South. So that thing was experimented with the planes plane to fly from here to Raya, plane to fly to Eastern Equatoria, plane to fly to Upper Nile, and so on. And if there were time up to arrive at the same time here. So it was unanimously taken that Rumbek is the center of the South. So with that particular thinking, Rumbek was reopened, but it was not opened directly in that year. It was first opened in Malakal at Atar in 1947. It was opened at Atar. It spent 1 year, and then when the main building was completed here in Rumbek, then the school was transferred. Those who begged was transferred here to Rumbek. Those of Arunable, Abel Alier, and the rest, and so on. They were transferred here. The main building was used as an accommodation for teaching as a class and also as a sleeping room until the rest of the buildings were completed, and then the students were transferred to boarding houses. That was the idea for which Rumbek Secondary School was open. Now this idea is successful because the children of South Sudan in 3 provinces of Upper Nile, Equatoria, and Barghazal were being accepted and accommodated here. Yet they also took very important cultural heritage, cultural learning. That is, for example, in 1963, there was a general strike of Rumbek Secondary School students simply because Sunday was made to be a working day. So they made a strike towards that because Sunday was our right as Christians to be a free day. And so they launched an attack in the Freedom Square in Rumbek here, beating all the traders and all what.
In 1963.
And so the government of Sudan was obliged to change, to bring back Sunday for the South as a free day, and Friday for the North as a free day. That was an important step whereby these children contributed to laying of the foundation of the understanding of a kind of a country or part of a country called Southern Sudan from that time. Again, they had a role in national issues, whereby Amin Mohamed Ahmed, who was one of the headmasters of Rumbek Secondary School, after that, when he was in Antwerp and children were making a strike, he had to warn the children and parents that you look here. I have been to Rumbek where I was handling men at Rumbek, not you children like you. I was handling men in Rumbek who used to go on a strike because of national issues, not because of food. Because those people went because the food was their problem. And they went on a strike because of food. He said, no, I was handling men in Rumbek where they used to go on issues connected with the nation, not issues of food. So Rumbek at that is called respect. Academically also, Rumbek was excelling very well. And then the graduates of Rumbek Secondary School as a particular role they have played in the history of Southern Sudan, because they laid the foundation of the struggle against the North. And they were the best administrators, they were the best people with the knowledge to manage and to work to succeed in their professional position.
I want to bring you to 1983. That was formation of SPLA, SPLM.
Yeah.
What was the contribution of Rumbek in formation of this liberation movement?
1982-83, I was transferred to Mayomabun in Toin. And then by 1984, I was re-transferred to Rumbek as a headmaster. Now, in 1982-83, I was a deputy here for administration in Rumbek Secondary School. And that was the time children started to take to the bush.
Did some students from Rumbek left classes for the bush?
Yes, they left in numbers to the bush. Until I used to follow them to go up to a crude area with the food from the school, so that they could go and use it on the way, eat it on the way.
As a deputy administrator of Rumbek Senior Secondary School in 1984, what were your words to young people that wanted to go to the army in 1983 from Rumbek?
Yes, of course. I was in charge.
You can even remove your cap. It's okay. Let them see your gray hair.
Yeah. I was in charge of the administration of the school. And at the same time, I was interested to see that the children who were now taking their roads towards Ethiopia would not get any harm or would not lose any life on their way. And also hunger was another. And at that time I had to take some ratios in secrecy, of course, because we were being followed by security. Even Junubin. Even Junubin were the kafirs at the stores and so on. They were giving information. Yeah, they were giving information that such a thing and such that thing are happening in the school. And boys, Anyanya, used to come by night to meet with us and so on, like Mapur Ton Kuc.
Yes.
Yeah, he used to come by night to meet with us in Rumbek Secondary. So that was
in 1984 to
1983.
83, yeah.
83, 84. Now, up to that time was a time of mobilization. 1984, 85, Kalas. The children were abandoned what they called their studies their educational
For liberation war.
and most of them joined the liberation war.
Very good.
So it is the children of Rumbek secondary from all areas of Southern Sudan
yes.
who laid the foundation for the struggle with the teachers.
History say that Garang was one in Rumbek Senior Secondary School.
That was before in 60s. In the information I got in the records
Yes.
was that they went on a strike and was one of the ringleaders who went on the strike.
About Sunday being made as a day for worship.
On a strike, not Sunday alone.
As a day as a working day.
Yeah. So Garang was on a strike.
Okay.
With some children. Yeah. And then he was suspended. And from suspension, he never came back
Yes.
to Rumbek Secondary again.
Yeah.
And then from there, he went and pursued his studies somewhere in Tanzania and other places.
Okay. Ustaz, we are young people and we got a rumor or a story being said about Ustaz Gabriel Kuc Abyei that you were one time appointed in the national position as a deputy minister for education. But there is a rumor, I don't know how true is that you refused the money. Can you tell us what that story is? Because you believe right now under trees and everywhere that Gabriel Kuc Abyei is a corruption-free man in South Sudan, that you rejected the money. What really happened? What was that story? Tell us by your own self today on camera.
You see, what I want to tell you, the young people,
Yes.
is that the way you react to issues and the way you take issues and the way you feel things differs from individual to an individual.
Yes.
What actually I want to tell you, I have to be reserved because that was a government.
Yes.
A government situation. A story that arose in a government. And up to that, I will not so be blunt to blur out what was there. But I will show a clue of it. It was during the time war of Panto with the Sudan army.
Yes.
Yes. The war of the Panto, that was the invasion of Northern Army, and then they clashed with the army of Southern Sudan. And they were
a glitch.
And they were bleak out. Then Salva, or president of the state, had to suspend the exploitation of the oil in Southern Sudan. Oil had to be stopped. And then the government of Southern Sudan introduced by then, because there were no sources of revenue now. So it introduced what they call austerity measures.
Yes.
Austerity measures, in which in the Minister of Finance, what were allowed to be operated were security issues only.
Yes.
There was no money for anything, but there were money
for security
issues. So the rest of the requisites from any ministry, they were not being released because there was no money. So after that, after this time was lifted, the freezing of oil, and so when it was lifted, then what they call money for services has to come to the ministries as it used to be.
Yes.
So there were money brought. There was money brought to the ministry. And then one of the officials, the top officials of the ministry, administrator, informed me, brought it back and pushed it under my table and said, "Bang in Dinga."
Yeah, in Dinga, you caught it.
That bag is yours. I said, what is there? He said, money. I said, what type of money? What kind of money? He said, for you. I said, where is it from? Then he began to tell me. I said, no. I said, no. I said, no.
To the money?
I said, no. And disclose source. A source that is not clear. I will not take that money. The money that accrues to me is my salary and my privileges. We move from the Council of Ministers to my account. That is the money I know. I don't know any other money. Number two, how much is a soldier able to receive now? The salary of a soldier. By then it was 450 pounds. 450 South Sudan pounds. And then I said, what about the workers? Said average salary is 300 pounds. I said, yes. If there were resources for giving a person like me, the money to improve my status, no, the salaries of these people would have been increased. My status is not so bad. If I am getting salary of 8,000 by that time, 8,000.
Which year was that? Which year was that?
That was 2011 up to 2013.
2011 2013. You were getting 8,000.
Yeah.
And you refused the money in the bag because you say your status are okay. This money should improve the status of the soldiers.
Yes. Money, the normal man should also be elevated so that the gap of normal man with the top people of the country must be bridged to be near. But that there is a very big gap. Those living in paradise and those I refuse that man. So that what happened. That was what happened.
Ustaz, with all this contribution from liberation struggle up to today, and you refuse the money, do you have a car right now?
I don't.
You don't have?
I don't. Are you
regretting for not having a car?
Well, I can quote the statement of Bartolomeo Diaz from Spain, who was a discoverer. He was a traveler in Africa and most of other areas.
Yes.
And a hand in discovery of America. He said, one day he sat down and tried to think, to visualize from beginning of his life to where he was. And he said, after toil and peril, I do not even own a room in Spain. He was a Spanish traveler. After toil and peril, I do not own a room in Spain. That means he did not have even a house.
So now reflect yourself.
What come to my mind now regarding the role I had played in my school days in childhood with very vivid stories.
Yes,
we were intended as a promotion of national interest and national struggle. Yet when I see myself now, I'm leading a miserable life. And I see my country is not rewarding me at all. I am neglected. But I am happy with it. If God has selected me to die for, with all that, I welcome it. With all that, I welcome it.
You refused the money during your time, 2011 to 2013, and you were the deputy minister, and you are right now in Rumbek. You're not working in the government. Do you see yourself as someone that contribute vividly during liberation struggle, that you still have the energy to serve in the current government of the country?
No, even if I am called now, I cannot accept.
Why?
I cannot accept because my mind is occupied with how a government works towards people. You work to change. You work to promote the life of people. You work to develop something and so on. Now, a work that has no outcome, when the life of ordinary people is very miserable, and people have reached an extent of no salaries for the working people, then what difference am I going to make if I accept a government position now? What am I going to offer to the people? Because I am preoccupied to what I could offer. Now, also, I have to tell some of you youth.
Your message to young people.
Yes, yes. What is called government service or government work.
Yes.
Government work is a teamwork.
It's a teamwork.
A team that has accepted certain situations with certain policies to go and attain this situation, to work towards attainment of that situation for the good of the people. However you are good, however you are have an ability, you have administrative credentials, still you will not succeed. You will not succeed to make change. You will not succeed to make change because change will be brought by a team. All right. But when I look into the government here, and I happen to see myself as one of those who is going to work with me.
Yes.
Who is going to work with me? Because the views that I have are not acceptable to this group. They will not. They have self-pest, and then community next, society next, which is not even happening.
What message are you telling to the families that are struggling in South Sudan today with daily life?
You see, it is what I can say, the reason always when you get any employment in a system, any system, whether a political employment or a social and what,
A private sector.
now, when you get a position of employment, you have the first three things to see, to guide you. First, take that position. In that position, you see God. You see God first to guide you in your position. You see God first to guide you in your position. Two, you see the importance of the people, society, the people where you come from, the people like Southern Sudan.
Yes.
You see them. What you do must be something always acceptable to the people, and they like it, and it changes their life. That is what you should. The third,
Yes.
which is an administrative issue, the third is the law. The law. If you take something not yours, you must win. Then the law is there to punish you seriously.
Yes.
To punish you seriously with three things. One, you must be made to pay what you have misused.
Yes.
The law will tell you to pay it back. You will be removed from position. You will never work again. The third is you will be in prison.
Okay.
The fourth is your prestige, your value in the eyes of the people, and the value of your children, the value of the family, and so on. All those you are going to lose all those.
You lose everything.
Now, that is the reason why one should work either in a political position or social position. You must always be careful that your central or interest must be to work for the people and nothing else.
Nothing. Now, dear viewer, this is our elder, Ustaz Gabriel Kuc Abyei, a elder, a father, and a liberator, and a current leader of South Sudan. He's talking to us here basically on how Rumbek become a valuable place during liberation struggle. And of course, right now, we'll ask him to have a conclusion message to the young people and to the general communities of South Sudan today. Ustaz, what is your conclusion remark to the young people and to the entire communities and families of South Sudanese that are living in current situation of South Sudan?
Yes. First, I advise, especially the young ones, to have perseverance to have hope, to have hope for a brighter future, not to panic, not to give up totally that there is nothing good that will come to the South. No. Good is brought by people. Good is brought by a generation. So, despite the fact that we are in this situation where everybody is demoralized, don't give hope. God is always at work. God has a power to choose the rightful people among you to change this country. The right people to change this country, they are among you. And it is God who knows them, knows the seeds that will change this country. But don't panic. What is happening, but be particular to yourself. To choose which camp are you. The camp of those who want to satisfy their desires now, or the camp who would look forward to the establishment with a concrete foundation of a country known as Southern Sudan, where people will be living side by side with love, with what, and progressing and attain their prosperity when they love themselves. That is the country we look forward to. So please have a hope for such a country.
Have a hope for such country,
Yes.
young people. Which party do you think can at least bring change in South Sudan among all the parties?
I cannot sincerely pinpoint, because the parties that are operating now in Southern Sudan, you begin to praise a party, you begin to say it is this party which is healthy, it is this party which is good, when it has a room, when it has an opportunity to rule. So the rest of the parties in Southern Sudan, they have no opportunity to rule now. Instead, they are full. They are full. They are poison, because the ruling party will bring them those who appreciate their interests, those who appreciate their policy, they bring them in, and it is something which I can say to all South people.
All right.
The South people are not those whom I can say they are not sincere to themselves. They are not sincere to their children. They are not sincere to their societies completely, because the general interest I see is how I should come up to attain a very high position, how people should run after me. A great man. Gabriel is a great man. Gabriel is so. That is not my desire. The desire is how good I am to satisfy the desires of the people, to satisfy the desire of generations for years and years. So we have a foundation. It is a step-by-step, gradual work.
Okay.
You lay a foundation, another dedicated people with the love of their own place, love of their own country will come, and then they build. And for example, I will say one thing here. I challenge and I repeat, the southern people of Southern Sudan, whether those in power or those not in power, just all southern people say, I am a nationalist. No. That is a wrong understanding. Nationalism does not live with corruption. Nationalism does not live with corruption. If you call yourself a nationalist and you take public things, then you are not a nationalist. You are not. When you are robbing society, when you are robbing your own people, when you are robbing your own children, you are not a nationalist. A nationalist can even give. Why do I say like that? The word nationalism,
Yes.
like those who took to the bush to take up arms, they had given their lives for the sake of the country. Now it will be meaningless, ridiculous, it will be rubbish for such a person to be corrupt.
Someone that gave life.
Somebody that suffered in the bush to be corrupt, because he took to the bush for the interest of the country, the interest of this land, to change it, take it ahead, so that other generations will come and
get a country they call home.
Yes.
Right, dear viewers, this is our elder, Ustaz Gabriel Kuc Abyei. He's an elder, a father, liberator, and someone that witnessed how Rumbek Secondary School was built, and how Rumbek Secondary School contributed to liberation struggle, and how Rumbek became a foundation for SPLA and SPLM formation. Ustaz, thank you so much. It's a big honor to have you today on this particular topic.
Thank you.
God bless you more for us.
Thank you.
Your tooth will come out. You'll not be eating meat. We'll be eating meat on your bread. You'll be making milk.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ustaz. Thank you.